Nazi symbols, the fascinating story behind the sinister imagery. Imagine symbols that hold the power to change the world, capturing the hearts and minds of millions. From the stars and stripes to the hammer and sickle, symbols have played a pivotal role in shaping human history. Today we're exploring some of the most notorious and enigmatic symbols in modern history, those of the Nazi Party. Hello and welcome back to Eccentric History. In this video we're taking a deep dive into the intriguing world of Nazi symbols, uncovering the stories behind some of the most infamous images in history. But before we start, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and smash the subscribe button so that we keep bringing you amazing stories from the past. The swastika. You've probably seen the swastika before, the twisted cross symbol that became synonymous with the Nazi regime. But did you know that this symbol has been around for thousands of years and has been used by many cultures around the world, including South Korea? Yes, that's right, it was originally a symbol of good fortune and prosperity before being co-opted by the Nazis. Interestingly, the swastika is believed to have originated over 5,000 years ago and has been used in Hindu, Buddhist and Jain traditions. In Hinduism, the swastika is often used in religious ceremonies and represents the sun and the cycle of birth, death and rebirth. Thus, despite its association with the Nazi regime during World War II, the swastika continues to hold great cultural significance in India. This shows that the swastika has deep roots in history, long before it was associated with the Nazi regime. US 45th Infantry Division. Another fascinating fact is that the US 45th Infantry Division used a swastika as their insignia before World War II. However, that changed quite rapidly. Expanding on the US 45th Infantry Division's use of the swastika, it's worth noting that the symbol was chosen for its Native American connotations. At the time, the swastika was seen as a symbol of good luck and well-being among several Native American tribes, and its use by the 45th Infantry Division was meant to honor their heritage. However, as the world became aware of the horrors committed by the Nazis under the swastika banner, the division made the conscious decision to replace it with the Thunderbird, another powerful symbol in Native American culture, to distance themselves from any association with the Nazi regime. The Reichsadler, Imperial Eagle. Moving on, let's talk about the Reichsadler, also known as the Imperial Eagle. This symbol was derived from the Roman army eagle and has been used by several Germanic empires throughout history. Dr. Joseph Goebbels, the infamous Nazi propaganda minister, was instrumental in incorporating the eagle into the Nazi Party emblem. Diving deeper into the history of the Reichsadler, it's important to note that the eagle has been a symbol of power and authority for millennia. From the ancient Egyptians to the Romans, the eagle has been used to represent empires and their rulers. In the context of Nazi Germany, the Reichsadler served as a reminder of the country's imperial past and its aspirations for global domination. Dr. Joseph Goebbels, being an astute propagandist, understood the historical significance of the eagle and used it as a way to evoke feelings of nationalism and pride among the German people. Parteiadler and Bundesadler. The Parteiadler, or the Party Eagle, was used as the emblem of the Nazi Party, while the Bundesadler, or the Federal Eagle, was used as the national emblem of Germany. Both symbols share similarities with the Roman army eagle, and their use was an attempt to link the Nazi regime with the ancient Roman Empire. When comparing the Parteiadler and the Bundesadler, it's essential to examine their differences and what they symbolize for the Nazi Party and Germany as a whole. The Parteiadler featured an eagle with outstretched wings, clutching a wreathed swastika in its talons. This design symbolized the Nazi Party's far-reaching influence and the integration of their ideology into every aspect of German life. On the other hand, the Bundesadler depicted an eagle with its wings partially spread, holding a wreath without a swastika. This design was meant to represent the unity and strength of the German nation, with less emphasis on the Nazi Party's ideology. The Fascist Symbol. Now let's talk about the Fascist Symbol that originated in Italy under Benito Mussolini. This symbol, called a fascis, consists of a bundle of wooden rods with an axe head. It was a symbol of authority in ancient Rome, and Mussolini used it to represent the unity and strength of his fascist movement. To better understand the significance of the fasces, it's crucial to look into the history and how it was used by Mussolini. In ancient Rome, the fasces were carried by lictors, who were bodyguards of high-ranking officials. The rod symbolized the power to punish, while the axe head represented the power to execute. Mussolini sought to revive the glory of the Roman Empire and saw the fasces as a fitting symbol for his fascist movement, emphasizing the importance of unity, strength and discipline. The fasces was widely used in its fascist Italy, appearing on coins, sculptures and official documents to reinforce the regime's authority. The Oath of the Horatii. Speaking of Roman symbolism, the Oath of the Horatii, a painting by Jacques-Louis David, was admired by Adolf Hitler. The painting depicts three brothers swearing an oath of loyalty and was used by Nazis to promote the idea of self-sacrifice for the greater good. To provide more context on the significance of the Oath of Horatii for the Nazi regime, let's discuss the painting's narrative and its connection to Nazi ideology. The painting tells the story of three Roman brothers from the Horatii family who swear an oath to their father to fight against their enemies in Horatii, even if it means their own death. This story of loyalty, self-sacrifice and dedication to a cause resonated with the Nazi regime. They saw the Horatii brothers as an embodiment of the ideal German soldier, willing to lay down their lives for the greater good of their nation. By promoting the Oath of Horatii, the Nazis aimed to inspire similar devotion and sacrifice among their followers, ultimately strengthening their grip on power. Totenkopf. The Totenkopf, or Death's Head, is another infamous Nazi symbol. It was originally a symbol used by the Prussian army and later by the German Empire under Emperor Wilhelm II. The SS, a parliamentary organisation under the Nazi regime, adopted Totenkopf as their emblem, transforming it into a symbol of terror and oppression. To understand the full significance of the Totenkopf in the context of the Nazi regime, it's important to explore its historical use and how it was adapted by the SS. As mentioned earlier, the Totenkopf was initially used by the Prussian army and later the German Empire under Emperor Wilhelm II. The symbol traditionally represented courage, loyalty and the willingness to face death in battle. With Heinrich Himmler, the leader of the SS, adopted the Totenkopf as the emblem for his organisation, it took on a much darker meaning. The SS was responsible for some of the most heinous crimes committed by the Nazi regime, including the administration of concentration and extermination camps. The Totenkopf became a symbol of fear, oppression and horrific acts carried out by the SS. Additionally, the use of the Totenkopf by the SS was an attempt to create an aura of mystique and a sense of elite status for its members. SS soldiers wore the symbol of their uniforms, which served as a constant reminder of their loyalty to the Nazi cause and their commitment to carrying out its ruthless objectives. Emperor Wilhelm II. As we've already seen, Emperor Wilhelm II played an important role in the rise of Nazi regime. Let's take a closer look into the last German emperor. Although he was not directly associated with the Nazi Party, his reign saw the rise of German nationalism, which would eventually evolve into the Nazi ideology. The Nazis adopted the Iron Cross, a military decoration first introduced during his reign, as one of their key symbols. The Iron Cross became synonymous with bravery and loyalty in Nazi Germany, and it was awarded to soldiers who displayed exceptional courage and devotion to the cause. Victory, victory. Moving on to a lesser-known Nazi slogan that accompanied these symbols, Sieg Heil, which translates to Hail Victory or Victory, Victory. This phrase was often used at rallies and events to express loyalty and devotion to the Nazi cause. The use of the term victory aimed to evoke a sense of power and triumph, boosting the morale of the party members and the German public, chanting Sieg Heil, while raising their arms. The infamous Nazi salute became a powerful visual and auditory symbol of the party's unity and determination. Freikorps. The Freikorps were German parliamentary units composed preliminary of World War I veterans. They emerged in the aftermath of the war and played a significant role in the early years of the Weimar Republic. The Freikorps were known for their strong nationalist ideology and their opposition to communism. Many of their symbols and imagery would later be adopted by the Nazi Party. One of the most notable symbols used by the Freikorps was the skull and crossbones, which was mentioned earlier. Would evolve into the Totenkopf emblem used by the SS. The Freikorps also used other symbols that reflected their militaristic and nationalist nature, such as the Iron Cross. The legacy of the Freikorps is significant, as many of their members went on to join the Nazi Party and played crucial roles in its development. And that's a wrap on today's video. From ancient Rome to Asian cultures, the history of these symbols is vast and complex. It's crucial to remember that symbols can hold vastly different meanings across cultures and time periods. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit the subscribe button and share your thoughts in the comments. Until next time, keep exploring and stay curious.